In today's video, we are going to be looking at a couple of theories about subtraction. So we are going to be looking at how we can actually, we are going to be looking at what is subtraction. We're also going to be looking at how can we use the column method of subtraction. What do we need to remember when we are using the column method of subtraction? And we will also be practicing the column method of subtraction as well. So subtraction means we are taking away a number by another number. All right. For example, if we have a bag of 5 sweets in here, okay. So if you take 2 sweets away from this bag, we would have 3 sweets remaining, because 5 take away 2 is 3. So that is what subtraction is all about. It's always about taking away a number. So, but when we have a large number, like for example, if we have a large number like 8,201, take away 2,562, we can't actually do it using this method, all right, because we've got two 4-digit numbers that we need to work on when we're subtracting. So in here at this point is when we will have to use column method subtraction. So what it means by column method in its name itself is that we see the columns are there in the column method subtraction. That is the place value column. So we will be having ones, tens, hundreds, and we will also be having the thousands column. Okay, so that is what it's all about. So first we are going to put our bigger number in here. All right, that is the first number. The number we are subtracting from is going to come first. So we are going to be putting 8,201, and the number we will be subtracting will be next, below the number we are going to subtract from. Right, so this is how we align the column method subtraction perfectly. So we make sure the ones columns, both the numbers ones columns are below each other. We make sure both the tens column of the numbers are below each other, and we make sure the hundreds and the thousands columns of both the numbers are below each other in its place value. All right, so let's try working this out. All right, so in here, now we realize that we actually can't do 2 take away 1. Right? We can't do 2 take away 1. So what we need to do is, we don't have enough in this number to do 2 take away 1. So when you're subtracting, you need to remember we need to always start from the ones column. The reason why we need to always start from the ones column is because if you don't have enough in a column, you need to be able to exchange from the previous column. All right, so in here in the tens column, we don't have anything to exchange as well. So we are going to exchange from the hundreds to the tens, and from the tens, we're going to take to the ones. All right, so think of this situation as borrowing from one house to another house. All right, so the ones can't definitely borrow from the hundreds because the tens is more closer. All right, so what the tens is going to the tens is going to borrow from the hundreds, and the ones is going to borrow from the tens. Okay, so we are going to exchange 100 to the tens column. All right, 100 to the tens column. So we realize if we're going to exchange 100 into the tens column, 100 will become tens. 100 will be split up into tens. So in 100, we realize we have 10 tens, okay? In 100, we have 10 tens. So this 10 tens will be added to the tens column. So we already have 0 tens. So when you add this 10 tens into here, we have 10 tens. So, and then now we're going to, from this 10, we are going to exchange 1 to the ones column. So when you exchange 1 tens into the ones column, we would have 10 ones. Okay, so I'm going to exchange 110 of these to the ones column, and we would have 10 ones. Okay, so this tens would become a 9 because we exchanged to the ones column. This 2 would become a 1 because we exchanged it to the tens column. But this ones column would become 11 because we exchanged 10 tens and we already have 1 1. What we exchanged 10 ones, but we already have 1 1, so we would have 11 ones. So 11 ones, take away 2 ones, we would have 11 ones, take away 2 ones, we would have 9 ones in here. So this would be 9 in the ones column. Now we have 9 tens here. Remember, we exchanged and we exchanged to the ones column again. So once you exchanged from the hundreds, we had 10 tens, and once you gave 1 away, we had 9 10. Now 9 10 take away 6 10, we would have 3 tens in here. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 tens in there. And now in the hundreds column, we only have 100. So what we are going to do in here is we are going to exchange 1000 to the hundreds column, because we only have 1 here. We can't take away 5 from 1. So we're going to exchange 1000s into the hundreds column. So 1000s broken down into hundreds, we would have 10 hundreds. Okay, we would have 10 hundreds. We already have 100 here, so if you add a 10 more, we would have 1100. So 1100 take away 500, we would have 600 in here. Okay, so we would have 600 in here. Now this, because we exchanged, it would become a 7. So 7000 take away 2000. 7000 take away 2000. 7000 take away 2000, we would have 5000. So the final answer would be 5639. So now let's look at another question, right, for deeper understanding. So in here, what we are going to do is we are going to do 6000. We are going to do 6745 take away 2538. Okay, so in here we realize we don't have enough ones to take away, so I'm going to exchange 110s to the ones column and make it 15. So I know 15 take away 8, I would have 7. All right, 15 take away 8 is 7, so I'm going to put 7 in the ones column. Now in the tens column, because I exchanged, this 4 tens would become 3 tens. So 3 take away 3, I would have a 0. And then 7 take away 5, I would have 2 hundreds. And then 6000s take away 2000s, I would have 4000s. So the final answer of this question would be 4207. So one of the main things you need to remember when you work out questions like this is that you need to remember 10 ones, 10 ones, 10 ones like these make 110. Okay, 10 ones of these make 110. And you need to remember 10 tens of these make 100, right? So we would have 100 in here. Right? And you also need to remember 10 of these would make 1000. Okay, 1000 counters. Okay, so you need to remember every time we move towards the left of the place value chart, the place value becomes 10 times bigger, and that is why we start from the ones column instead of starting from any other column, so that it is easier for us to exchange when we don't have and subtract the numbers. All right, and that is how we use column subtraction and exchanging.